Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to the Juicy Spider Studios Truck Series for tonight's IndyCar 1909.com 150. My name is Robert Hill Jr. Joining me in the booth tonight is Matthew Weeks and Dave Huckleberry, returning as our producer here this evening in place of Jesse Racimus. Guys, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
I'm doing good. I'm where I should be tonight. Instead of in the truck out there, I've already done Oswego once this season in ARCA and did it on dirt and on asphalt. And when Jesse said he needed somebody to sub for him for Oswego, I was like, "Gee, I'm in. Take me out of the truck."
Yeah, I can honestly say I've never seen someone react so quickly to getting out of a driver's seat as I did with you taking this role tonight. But I love this place, guys. It's going to be one of those tight races, a half-mile oval here, the home of Super Dirt Week on the dirt side in October each and every year. Of course, not on the asphalt, but a little bit dirtier. Nonetheless, going to be one heck of a good race here tonight. As we take a look at our starting grid, it's Gavin Higgins on the pole with Caleb Pecumer to his outside, Dylan Avere and Jeff Green in row number 2, Neil Rutt, modified star. He should be good tonight, starting in 5th alongside Tom Bourne. It's Josh Adams in 7th with Tommy Ryan to his outside, and a Leighton Norgard and Frank Fody going to round out the top 10. Matthew, take us through to the 20th position, my friend.
We got Gerald Campbell and David Carpenter rolling out 11th and 12th. JP Phillips 13th, Austin and Abnett 14th, Jeff Ryan 16th, Dusty Dewar 17th. It's a little mix up right there. Oh, 15th and 16th. I'm sorry, it's a little blurry on my side. Seth Ross 17th, Richard Hearn 18th, Michael Hosick 19th, Andrew Hardcastle 20th.
Mitchell Javier going to start 21st with Connor Thompson to his outside. Tyler Dixon and Michael Goodman going to make up row number 12. Josh Osborne and Joe Francis 25th and 26th with Kyle Hanshaw and Jess Story 27th and 28th. Sam Boutwell and Cody McCorkle going to round out the top 30 with Ryan Campbell, Jesse Racimus, and Jaden Racimus, the rest of your 33 car field. And I was going to say I didn't see Jesse or Jaden, but they are here, and both drivers are working their way to the grid. And as we get set for this one, you're going to notice these cars are going all the way back into turns number 3 and 4. So traffic is going to come into play very, very quickly here tonight. There's a high chance of a lot of yellow flags. We're hoping it stays green, but nonetheless going to be one heck of a race here tonight. As I think I said Gerald Campbell starting 31st. That's Ryan Campbell in 31st. A little bit different, but we'll go ahead and make some race picks here, gentlemen. Let's start with Dave Huckleberry. Dave, who do you got taking the win here tonight?
Well, I guess I would probably I'll take Gavin Higgins from the pole. He hasn't had a win yet this year in this series, so I think maybe I'll pick him.
I know Matthew also working as our race controller here tonight, wrapping up talking to Gavin. So Matthew, why don't you go ahead and make your race pick when you're ready? He's dealing with some work. So I'll make my pick instead. You took Gavin Higgins. I'm going to go Neil Rutt. Neil Rutt the third, starting in 5th here tonight in car number 11. That's going to be a real solid pick to get it done. As pace cars up. But Gerald's not here. Oh,
I'm going to take Jeff Green.
Jeff Green? All right, that's a good pick. As pace cars off, we're getting set to go green this time. Of course, these drivers do pit from the back straightaway, so pace car left rather early as Gavin Higgins hits that loud pedal. We're underway here at Oswego. Already side by side, Dylan Avere, Jeff Green. They've got Tom Bourne and Neil Rutt just behind them. Neil running a nice throwback scheme on that 11. We'll look a little bit further into that later on throughout the night. That's a modified throwback there for Neil, and it looks damn good here at Oswego as Gavin Higgins going to lead us here through lap number 2. Pecumer, Green, Javier, and Bourne, your top 5.
Yeah. I've never raced here before, so I have no information on how the truck's going to drive, but that 11's going to be called out.
Truck around.
Oh, Josh Adams goes around. You know it's tricky when Josh Adams is a driver to go around here. He doesn't make mistakes far too often. Not to say that he's perfect, but mistakes are not usually common for him, especially in a truck, because it looks like he just got a little bit too low on the apron. It's going to set him around here. See that he clips below the yellow line, makes that truck a bit uneasy, goes for a slide. And with the way that Oswego is, guys, there's not a lot of space to be able to recover and get yourself off of that racing line. So for Josh Adams, any other racetrack, he probably would have been able to save that. We would have stayed green, but yellow flag comes out here. And unfortunately for him, I do believe he's going to pick up a tally. And by the way, thanks to Rubilas Photography, rubilasphoto.com for all your photography needs, and the proud partner of our replay machine that's going to get one heck of a workout here tonight.
He was fortunate there. I know in the ARCA series, when you spun on that coming out of 4 there, you had a tendency to go toward that opening at the pit wall there, and there was a lot of good compaction into that wall. Pretty nasty. I think Dusty even ended up, or maybe it wasn't Dusty, but somebody ended up flipping over that wall and landing in pit lane.
And as you see there, tally issued to the 81 of Josh Adams. That is a self-spin. So there's no penalty points issued with a self-spin tally. That would be more if you collect additional cars, cause some damage, and that just makes your night a little bit worse. But for Josh, all he's got to do is be careful, make it to the end without another tally, and he should be okay.
And he's capable of that. He's a good driver, man. He knows how to keep the nose clean on the car.
Absolutely. And for many of these guys, like Josh Adams, I'm looking through the field. There's not really too many others that wouldn't race down in the ARCA series. Maybe Jesse Racimus. A lot of these guys do have a bit of experience here, but your veteran guys that have more experience elsewhere are coming in rather blind here. Your Josh Adams, your Seth Rawls, and of course, Jesse Racimus as well. These guys have to learn this racetrack, and maybe they're going to pick up some stuff from these upcoming drivers that we have here in the Truck Series that did take part in the Rev Limit Workshop Development Series. But so far, nobody's really moved much. Cody McCorkle is up 5 spots on the day. Part of that is just keeping the truck clean, keeping it on the bottom lane most likely when everyone else files back up on the high side. But good run here so far. And we'll see what happens as the pace car makes that turn down onto pit lane on the back straightaway. These drivers going to compress the field once again, get set to work their way through turns number 3 and 4. Gavin Higgins, Caleb Pecumer on the front row. It's an early launch there by Gavin Higgins, and that is very well within his control. The only thing is he's got to make sure he stays below the line until he crosses the start-finish line, which Gavin Higgins did not. So I believe that's going to be a lane change violation on the 20.
Yeah, let me go check that. I was watching midfield.
Yeah, he was well up to the outside wall before the start-finish line, which actually, you'll see the flag stand on driver's left here, which makes it a little bit more confusing for these guys. But Jeff Green up to the 2nd spot now. He makes a pass on Caleb Pecumer. He's going to work his way into 2nd. Pecumer 3rd. Tom Bourne in 4th. Dylan Avere back to the 5th spot. He's under threat here from Tommy Ryan. There's a side-by-side battle between Frank Fody and a Leighton Norgard as they battle it out for 8th and 9th. And unfortunately for Gavin Higgins, going to get a drive-through penalty for working his way up to the outside lane before the start-finish line. So his night has just hit a massive rut.
Yeah, that's a drive-through, Matthew. He said a tally over the driver chat, but I was confused.
He's a busy guy. It's all right. It's all right. As Jeff Green and Caleb Pecumer continue to battle it out for what will be the race lead here momentarily. Pecumer giving the bumper to Green. Higgins still out on the racetrack, so that's something to keep an eye on here. He has not yet indicated to the rest of the field that he is coming down pit lane. So much like an iRacing black flag, you only have a couple laps to do it. As Josh Osborne going to go around. So, well, Dave, this just makes it easier. And the EOL going to be issued for Gavin Higgins as Josh Osborne goes around caution number 2 of the day. Cody, oh, wow. Watch this. A couple guys got real lucky here, Dave. Josh Osborne sends it a little bit deep into the corner, locks it up, misses Goodman, misses McCorkle, and misses Mitch Javier as he slides up into the outside wall just past the Billy Whitaker Cars and Trucks sign and in front of the Super Dirt Week sign. Shout out to Super Dirt Week. I'm a dirt guy myself, so I love this place. As that's going to be tally number 2 of the day. First tally for Osborne, though.
Let's do a quick ad while we can get to it.
Why not?
All right, we'll be right back.
3 years of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming. Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Watching the mid-pack
We're back.
restart.
We're back.
And we're back. It's the IndyCar1909.com 150, IndyCar1909.com, IndyCar past, present, and future. Of course, you just heard from our partners at Worldwide Technology Raceway, one of the premier motorsport racing facilities in America. Be sure to check them out. Some great events coming up there this year, including the return of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Definitely going to be an exciting one. And our friends at Blue Egg Marketing also on board with us here tonight. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels. Accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. And of course, this is the Juicy Spider Studios Truck Series. We'll hear a little bit more from them later on. As we come back to the green flag, Jeff Green going to be the driver to lead us there. He's got us off into turn number 1. Caleb Pecumer just behind him, and it doesn't matter no more as Jeff Ryan gets collected in this one. Multiple other drivers. Gavin Higgins is going to miss it, but Austin and Abnett and Tyler Dixon going to pick up pretty big pieces. We'll take a look at the replay machine, see what just happened to these guys. Oh, it's just a flurry right off the drop. It's a weird one here, Dave.
There's the contact.
Yeah, Austin and Abnett comes down on the 34 machine of JP Phillips, and that's going to lead to the caution. Going to collect a couple drivers further. That's hard to say. It looks like an Abnett comes down, but also looks like Phillips comes up a little bit. Tyler Dixon. Does Dixon actually hit him? I don't think so. So Tom Bourne was on the bottom. Phillips and a Nabnett come together. I'd almost lean towards this being a racing deal, Dave, just with the way that everything was kind of domino effect on the start. But we'll see what the call is from race control as it's being reviewed.
Yeah, it didn't look like to me the 60 alters his line. I mean, that's probably the line he wants to take through that corner. Two guys come in for the same little inch of real estate, I think. There.
Like, you see him come down a little bit as he crosses our finish line, working with the natural curvature of the racetrack. JP Phillips kind of doing the same. They just get stuck together. Tyler Dixon does a fantastic job of slowing that truck down just enough to not hammer into it, and I think he saves his day. I mean, I don't want Dixon to get too excited that I give him credit here, but I'm impressed that he was able to avoid getting a bigger piece of that one, especially when Cody McCorkle comes up and pushes him up to, like, isn't that impressive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get a piece of paper between those two bumpers.
Absolutely not. And Cody McCorkle came up and and nearly knocks him up into the outside wall as it's happening. So for Dixon to be able to avoid that, that's pretty darn good. So Jeff Green now, folks, is your race leader. Caleb Pecumer second, Dylan Avere third, Tommy Ryan and Neil Rutt the top 5. Then it's Gerald Campbell in 6th, Frank Fody 7th, Dave Carpenter in 8th, Leighton Norgard 9th, and Dusty Dewar in 10th. It's a good start for Do Good right now. 3 trucks inside the top 10. Your teammates are looking pretty good, Dave.
Yeah, they are. I know there's like 400 of them in the Discord channel, so they should have plenty of information tonight.
Their other official teammate is Michael Goodman, currently situated in 19th, but he's up 5 spots, so not too bad. As we come back to the green flag this time, Jeff Green on the loud pedal. He stays in his lane until the start-finish line as we're backing away. Caleb Pecumer slots in second. Dylan Avere there in third, slides up ahead of Tommy Ryan. Nearly making contact there is Avere and Ryan as they head down the back. Pecumer almost sends it into Jeff Green. He tried to turn green into yellow, and I don't think that's how colors work here. As we head down the front straightaway, Pecumer still putting the nose in. He dives in deep. They're going to make contact. Green gets moved up the racetrack. Caleb Pecumer using the bumper early, and he's going to pull Tommy Ryan with him as well. As Ryan takes a look to the inside of Green, not quite able to get there that time. Dylan Avere moves up the track. Neil Rutt, Gerald Campbell right behind. Welcome Gerald Campbell into this fight for the 5th position as he's side by side with Neil Rutt, working their way through turns number 1 and 2, just behind Dylan Avere as the top 4 single out. Campbell and Rutt continue to be side by side. Man, these guys not afraid to use the bumper here early on.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that, and Jeff Green will remember that, so I would...
No doubt.
Cucumber. Oh, there's a wreck on the front stretch.
Oh, Connor Thompson, Mitch Havere, Michael Goodman, Jesse Racimas, all going to get some sort of pieces of this one. We'll take a look at the replay machine and see what happened. Robilosphoto.com for all your photography and replay needs. So potentially contact with Michael Goodman and Connor Thompson. Yeah, Goodman slides up into the left rear of Connor Thompson, sends him sideways. I think he would have saved it a little bit there. Mitch Avere comes in late. Jesse Racimas slows up. I think he's just going to make a little bit of contact at the end. Nothing major whatsoever. Kyle Hanshaw and Jeff Ryan do a good job of dodging their way through that one, but not what you're hoping to see early on, especially for Jesse Racimas, who makes a rare start in the Truck Series. And having trucks sideways right ahead of you as he comes down pit road, going to change some shorts here, maybe top up on fuel, and work his way back out onto the racetrack. Already almost 30 laps in, so the time
looks like he did fix a little right front damage there.
Yeah, potentially a little bit of damage because he did end up hitting with Sam Boutwell. And one thing to keep in mind, we do have a stage here tonight. It's going to come at the end of lap number 50. So points going to be awarded to the top 10. We will not have a caution period for that stage. Oh, okay, there it is. Into the back of the Mitch Havere machine. Then a little bit of contact there with Sam Boutwell. So for Jesse Racimas, kind of doubles down on the impacts here during this caution period, and smart move coming down to get it fixed up. I don't think aero plays any factor whatsoever at Oswego. He could be driving a modified out there and still be okay, but you want to avoid any potential tire rubs or impact on the cooling of your engine as well. And tally going to be issued to the 44 of Michael Goodman on this one, as looks like we're under ion right now, Dave.
Yeah, I'm working on some of the size stuff. I had to fill in for Jesse, so we got a little bit of difference of our screen sizes. So some of my graphics are not yet where they are.
Fits.
But this will be a work in progress for a little while.
We don't want too many ion periods here tonight, guys. Come on.
Well, they can be positive or they can be negative.
That's true. Hey, I like that joke. Good one. Good
one,
Dave.
That truck's way too big.
Yeah. Caleb Pecumer, he's grown in size here tonight. As we get set to go green, Caleb Pecumer on the bottom, Jeff Green up top. As they slowly work their way through turns number 3 and 4. Coming back to it, Humer grabs the loud pedal. We're back on our way. A good launch there by that number 59 machine as Jeff Green now going to be under fire from Tommy Ryan. Ryan on the inside. Campbell going to be side by side with Javier just behind. And the caution's out. Wow, shocker. And this one involves Connor Thompson and Michael Goodman. Did we hit replay and go back to the previous incident? Because that also involved Goodman and Thompson here as... let's take a look. Connor's just going to lose it into turn number 1. So easy tally there. Oh, as Goodman right into the back of the Boutwell machine. So Connor Thompson going to go around, and we're under caution. What caution number is this, Dave? 5?
This is 5th caution.
Not a good pace so far. We'll definitely all agree on that. I'm going to put this out to the YouTube chat. How many cautions do you think we'll see today? Let's be interactive. Let's have a little bit of chat over there. Let us know how many caution periods do you think we'll have? Do you think we're done with cautions now? If you do say that, I think you might be a little crazy, but we'll see anyways.
I will make the word caution smaller for every caution that we...
We're going to go from ions to cause at the end of this one.
Well, hopefully we get some racing in here. I know these boys are a little excited. They haven't. It's been a long couple of weeks. You know, we haven't raced trucks, I think, in like almost a month. So some guys are a little bit probably rusty with the truck, haven't raced as much.
No, you're definitely right on that, Matthew. It has been a while since some of these guys have been on the racetrack. Last race in this series was January 26th, and that was Tate Lytle taking the victory in the Southtown 135 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Chris Wright picks up the season opening win in the Design Ping 250 at Daytona. He is not here tonight. Lytle also not here tonight, so we'll have another winner to add for the third race of this event, or of this season, I should say. But a quick run through the top 10. Humer, Green, Tommy Ryan, Gerald Campbell, Dylan Javier, Rutt, Dewar, Frank Fody, Bourne, Carpenter. That is your top 10, as these guys are going to double it back up, get set for another restart coming up here on lap number 36 of 150. About 15 laps to go in stage number 1. Points on the line for the top 10 as the pace car makes its way down pit lane. We're going to get set to go green again, this time by as the field heads to turn number 3. Caleb Humer for Lake Norman Motorsports. Jeff Green for Do Good on the outside. Tick tock tick. We're green. Back underway. Very slow build up to that restart as Humer leads us off into turn number 1. Jeff gonna slot into second. Nearly contact there with Tommy Ryan as I think we're reckoning the back. It's Mitch Javier involved in this one. Caution number 6 on lap 36. Here he gets a solo spin for Mitchell Javier. I'm going to think he gets too high out of the line into turn number 1, grabs a bit of the racetrack that's not very racy, goes around. Yes, that's exactly what happens. So tally for the 58 of Mitch Javier. Nobody else collected, though, which is definitely a good thing. And we should be able to get back racing, hopefully soon. Now, Dave, obviously a busy week for the Elite Racing Network. Tonight, we're here at Oswego. Tomorrow, the Robilas Photography Grand National Series returns to the racetrack with the IndyCar 1909.com 250 at the Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway. That should be a good one.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited for it. One of my favorite tracks. I love Atlanta. I can't wait to be on track tomorrow night.
I will also be on track for that one tomorrow night, so that should be a good one. I'm excited. Last time I raced Legacy Atlanta, I blew a tire in a cup car and flipped over randomly, so that was always fun. And then Tuesday night, we continue the trend of many races in just a few days with the Rev Limit Workshop Development Series presented by PitPassNetwork.com for the penultimate race of the 2025 A season. We're going to take the ARCA cars to Talladega to wrap up round number 1 of the playoffs. William White and Hunter Smith, the only winners so far in the playoffs in that series. And then we're going to head to the Belly Up Sports Cup Series at the Michigan International Speedway. Guess who's sponsoring that one? IndyCar1909.com with the 200 at Michigan. Always a good race there. And then to wrap up our week, finally, with the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series, it's the Elite IndyCar Grand Prix of Sonoma. 85 laps there for the IndyCars. Going to be one heck of a good race, and a good couple of days afterwards to rest for the ERN crews after what will be 6-6 for the team.
Might see me make a rare appearance in that IndyCar race just to run
There we
that.
go.
You know, who knows? But I'm excited. It's a lot of good tracks coming up this week, and I can't wait to race.
Dave, how many of those are you broadcasting this week?
I am broadcasting the Xfinity and Cup, and then I'm racing in ARCA and IndyCar. Assuming I don't puke while practicing for IndyCar, because boy, Sonoma just has some elevation changes. Wow.
That it does. Make sure you take a little bit of gravel or something and get your stomach set. Oh, Jeff Green does not go on this restart. That stacks up the outside lane. Ooh, Caleb Pecumer and Tommy Ryan able to clear their way. Jeff almost changes lanes, gathers it back up, does continue on in the 4th spot, but he's fallen back. He has Gerald Campbell a little impatient behind him at this point. Gave him the bumper a couple times, but settles back in. Tyler Dixon with issues at the rear of the field. He continues on. We Stay Green finally getting a lap in here. Maybe they'll find a rhythm and be able to put some good laps in to close out this stage. 8 laps to go in stage number 1. Never mind. As Dave Carpenter goes around, collects JP Phillips. Michael Hossack gets a piece. Jess Story adds to the chapter of this one as well with a spin of his own. Josh Osborne going to get stopped on the racetrack. It's just a mess. As we look at the replay here, Dave's already got it queued up. Richie Hearn going to get into the left rear. Dave Carpenter sends Carpenter around. Andrew Hardcastle, oh, he's going to get punted there a little bit by Josh Adams. That's just a domino stack up there. How does Jess Story get hooked in this one, Dave? Can we pull that up?
Yeah, let's see here.
So we know the first part of the story. We don't know the Jess part of the story here. I think Jess might just cut down here on Josh Osborne. That's how it looks like it's playing out as we head into turn number 1. Osborne can't go much lower here. But does Josh send it in a little bit deeper, Dave? Is that your thoughts on this?
I mean, I got a tally for that. My only tally I've ever got was for a similar type effort at Phoenix. So,
see, that's tough because Story is tracking no matter what, gonna cut across the nose of the Josh Osborne machine. Josh definitely does send it a little bit deeper. I don't know that there will be any call on that. It was kind of separate from the caution, but
it's kind of hard too because I don't know who's in that red car. He's still on the rear of Jesse going into this corner too, so it's kind of tough because he can't really move. See, he's still right there and he kind of can't. So if he moved up, he would have got hit by the red car and turned anyway. So he was kind of in a tough spot going into that corner.
That red truck being the 60 of Austin and Abnett. He did a good job yesterday, by the way, in the sports car race. He was up inside the top 5 for a good chunk of that with the Lake Norman team in the GT3 class.
I don't think I was on track when he was in the car, so I really didn't see him. I didn't even know he was running that, to be honest with you.
You know what? Sometimes it is good when people don't know you're in the race because it means you haven't done anything crazy. We had murder wagons on the racetrack yesterday. There was some absolute chaos going on, but it was one heck of a race. If you didn't catch that one and you have 4 hours to kill, go back and watch the replay of yesterday's race or tune in the month of April when we come back with the solo sports car series here on the Elite Racing Network. But speaking of going back, we're going to go back green this time by with Caleb Pecumer and Tommy Ryan on the front row. A couple laps remaining here in stage number 1 as we're backing away. Pecumer with a good launch. Dylan Avere does not get going. He's going to stack up Dustin Dewar behind him on the bottom. Jeff Green Still not able to get a great launch up on the high side there. He'll be on the right rear quarter panel of the Dylan Avere machine in the 4th position, though. Gerald Campbell right there, Neil Rudd as well. But Pecumer going to lead us to lap number 48. 3 laps to go in stage number 1. Can we stay green to close out the stage? That's the question, and we hope the answer is yes.
Yes, definitely. Dusty, we haven't touched much on him, but man, he started towards kind of like midfield in the back, and he has driven all the way up there, and that truck looks pretty sporty down there racing Jeff Green.
Oh, caution's out. Oh, that was a big hit right there for Mitch Avere. Joe Francis involved. Jess Story involved. Jess Story not happy, as we'll take a look at the replay for this one and see what just happened. Mitch Avere explaining that he believes there's something. Bro, yeah, I see how this is going. Yeah, it snaps on Mitch Avere. He slides up into the left rear quarter panel of Jess Story. Tally for the 58 of Mitch Avere, and that's going to be his 2nd of the day. Mitch Haver. We keep saying it wrong. Mitch Haver going to come down pit road.
I learned that
he got
right
his
now.
2nd. Yeah, me too. I just heard him correct Matthew in the driver chat. Haver, okay.
I think Fody even calls him Javier.
But you know, Matthew was talking about, as we ride on board here with Michael Goodman. Looks like, oh man, Goody has not been able to avoid much here tonight. He's kind of piled into a couple of these wrecks with just not much room to go, and unfortunately for Goody, he's just going to continue to pick up damage. But you know, Matthew had mentioned Dustin Dewar on his way up through the field. He's up 11 spots on the day. That is the 3rd highest mover up to this point. Dusty up 11 spots, started 16th, currently in 5th. Cody McCorkle started 30th, currently in 16th. And Jaden Racimus started 32nd, currently up to the 18th position. So pretty impressive drive by some of these guys here so far on lap number 52, just under 100 laps to go.
I don't know what Dusty has done, but ever since he got his internet upgraded or computer, I don't know which one he did, probably both, he has like been a lot faster ever since then.
I think a big thing with that is he's actually been able to focus on racing rather than trying to stay clear of everyone else with the choppy internet. So for Dusty, this is definitely a big step forward. And I love that JD's Hilltop salvage scheme as well, with the rust look on that truck. Looks like it came right out of the junkyard, but driving like it came out of a high-end race shop right now. That 32 machine looking pretty darn good up in that 5th spot. And Dave, that's your teammate. How
That's
you feel
right.
about seeing him up in the top 5?
Oh yeah, I love it because they're all so helpful every week and helping me learn. So great group of guys. I love running with them. So I'd love to see them do well.
Or do good.
They do good.
There you go.
And Jeff Green needs a good run. I think he's part of do good in the trucks. He needs it. He's had so much bad luck the last couple of seasons. Ooh, some wheel spin on Gerald right there. Good catch.
Yeah, just a little bit as Caleb Pecumer leads us off into turn number 1. Tommy Ryan going to clear ahead of Dylan Haver. Hey, is that what we say, Haver?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so. Dylan Haver in 3rd. Dustin Dewar up to 4th. He was able to clear Jeff Green. Neil Rutt side by side with Gerald Campbell. That's for the 6th and 7th spots. Tom Board and a Leighton Norgard for 8th and 9th. Then it's Rocket Man Seth Rawls up into the top 10. He's had a quiet ascent through the field as well. And I'm very impressed by this driver that just got into 11th. That's Gavin Higgins. He led the early portion of this race, got an EOL, and is now knocking back on the door of the top 10. Looking mighty good in that 20 truck. Neighbor Pete, I'm sure you're watching. Quite proud of your boy right here.
If I was them leaders, I'd be worried because that 20 looks hooked up. To be able to drive through the field at this track, how hard it is, and getting EOL, I mean, he is making moves, and he's doing what other people's not. He's really working that outside really well. Oh, he had to lift a little bit right there.
I definitely agree with that. And, you know, looking back at the Oswego race that we did in the Rev Limit Workshop.
Oh, Jeff
no.
Green saves it. Woo! What a save.
Gavin struggled at Oswego in the ARCA series, finished second last, had some issues there. So for him to be able to come out and look as good as he is right now, that's pretty darn good. Whoa, I'm seeing some crazy stuff back here. Jesse Racimus, Jaden Racimus, Josh Osborne, Austin and Abnett, all under a blanket. They're chasing Cody McCorkle and Kyle Hanshaw that are side by side. The midfield just as good as the front of the field right now. And I think that's why we've seen so many cautions, because everyone's just racing hard. And oh, we got an issue at the back. It's Goody.
Oh, not again, Goody. No. But yeah, the midfield, like I say, is the hardest place to race. I mean, they even say that in real life. Like, that's the, like, where people race the hardest is midfield.
Yeah, you just see Goody kind of send it too deep into the corner, goes for a slide. I think he's going to do quite a bit of damage on the front end of that 44 truck. So he'll definitely have to make a visit to pit lane and get that fixed up. But while we're under caution, Tommy Ryan just came down a closed pit lane.
Uh-oh.
He's going to pick up a penalty here. Oh, man. Definitely not what you want to do. You got to control the controllables here. And he just absolutely missed the mark on that one. But while we're under caution here, Huck, why don't we hear from our friends at JUICYSPYDER Studios? See what they got to say.
All right, we'll be right back.
And we're back here. It's the IndyCar1909.com 150 representing the amount of caution laps we've experienced so far as we work caution number 9 on the day. Second tally of the afternoon issued to the 44 Michael Goodman. Unfortunately, he is going to have to report to pit road and report to his hauler as he is done for the day. And you saw Tommy Ryan there, guys. He was in the second position, went down pit lane while it was closed and loses a ton of spots, but is actually going to stay on the lead lap just somehow. I'm not really sure how. I think the scoring pylons just came into play for him, but he's going to fall from second to 31st right now. So not very good. As we come back to the green flag, Caleb Pecumer back underway. And for Caleb, with caution,
no,
contact between Dylan Haver and Dusty Dewar, as now Neil Rutt gonna dive to the inside of Haver as they head into turn number 1. Rutt nearly into the butt of the Dewar machine, as that got a little bit hectic right there.
Just saying Rutt into the butt was a little hectic for me.
It was a bit hectic, wasn't it, Dave? I'm sure Zach Evans going to drop some sort of comment about that in the YouTube chat. As Tom...
Oh,
no, Jaden, Jesse, everybody.
Oh, big wreck.
Oh, man. I think Jesse just wrecked his kid. Let's take a look and see what happened.
Oh, starts
Jesse
way up there.
Maybe it wasn't Jesse's fault. Oh, that's Leighton Norgard up there. Oh, it is Jesse wrecking his kid.
Yep.
Wow.
Whoa, man.
So starts up here, Leighton Norgard into the back of Gerald. That kind of domino affects a couple things here, but this incident was going to happen no matter what, I think. As Jesse Racimus dives it in and takes out his son. Jaden might be forgetting a birthday or two this year for Mr. Jesse. As that slides Jaden up the track into Josh Osborne, into Dave Carpenter, Sam Boutwell involved, Jeff Ryan involved, Joe Francis, Cody McCorkle. I could just see that he's about to be involved right there. Jeff Green going to get a piece. Tyler Dixon going to get involved. That's Andrew Hardcastle gets stopped on the bottom before. Oh my gosh, more happening here. Carpenter gets spun again by Josh Osborne. Man, things are crazy out here.
Yeah, if I was Jaden, I don't know if he lives there or somewhere else. I'd be calling my dad and I'm like, hey man, why'd you wreck me?
Yeah, no, Jaden definitely lives in the same house as Jesse, so he might be coming down and having a quick visit to the computer of that 70 machine right now.
Is that just racing, or is that contact under caution? Because Seven gets spun around, but when he takes off again, he's gonna kind of lose it and then take out Carpenter.
That's contact
It's kind
under
of hard to
caution,
tell,
I believe, but
because
it's tough.
It's hard because he's still trying to gather it
Yeah.
up from spinning and going. So it's
Is
just
he mid-wreck or post-wreck?
I just think it's still part of the same wreck.
I gotta say, I wish Jesse was on Discord right now. We'd have to ask him about wrecking his own kid.
Yeah, that'd be a good question for him.
Zach Evans chimes in the YouTube chat. It's time to play the Family Feud. Well, we definitely got a feud there, buddy. That was a little interesting. Caleb Pecumer back on the loud pedal. We're backing our way here on the nicest lap of the race, lap number 69. Let's work our way to 70, just approaching the halfway point. Dusty Dewar going to be side by side with Neil Rutt. Rutt on the bottom, Dewar up on the high side. Seth Rawls up into the 4th spot, looking a lot like the Tommy Ryan machine, but that is definitely Rocket Man and not Ryan, as he's way back in the field. Tom Bourne into the 5th spot, Haver 6th, Richie Hearn up to 7th, Frank Fody 8th, Leighton Norgard 9th, and Gavin Higgins now inside the top 10 as Pecumer pulls away a little bit. Jesse Racimus going to lose some spots at the rear. They're going to go 3 wide. JP Phillips on the bottom, Ryan Campbell in the middle, Gerald Campbell up top. Are we going to have more? I don't think they're family, but potentially family feud towards the rear between Ryan and Gerald Campbell.
Oh, truck going around.
Ryan Campbell goes around.
He just got loose.
Ryan Campbell around. Jesse Racimus gets collected in this one. Jaden has a little bit of a laugh because his dad gets some karma. And we're under caution number 11 of the day. I think Ryan just checks up in the middle, loses it a little bit, goes around. Jesse nowhere to go on the bottom. Gonna get the slightest piece of that one at the end. But looks like tally gonna be issued to the 86 of Ryan Campbell.
The truck it's starting to get to the point where handling is coming into play, it looks like. And these hot and cold cycles on these tires, it looked like it's playing a factor.
Yeah, I agree with that. And honestly, I think the driver in the best spot right now is Caleb Pecumer. Especially if we continue having these caution periods, he's just going to be able to restart out front, pull away, and not really have to worry about anything else whatsoever. So for him, just stay out front and don't look back.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is fuel. I don't know how long they can go on fuel here. Like I said, usually I run laps in the test session before the race, and I didn't tonight. So I don't know how far they can go on fuel. So hopefully these cautions can help them make the way.
I would say we do need to pit because Seth Rawls just came down. Gavin Higgins, Richie Hearn, Andrew Hardcastle, Tom Bourne, Tyler Dixon, Leighton Norgard, a bunch of guys that were up towards the front of the field oh no, Seth pit in the wrong part of pit lane. So pit lane's kind of weird here, guys, where you have to pit in a certain section. But Seth Rawls now having a penalty for passing the pace car. That means he's going to have to start towards the rear of the field. Man, we got some people cheering on drivers in the YouTube chat. Zach Evans cheering on Neil Rutt. Tyrone McIntosh, driver of the Shift Esports entry, cheering on Rocket Man Seth Rawls. Good job. Good job, Tyrone. So Caleb Pacumer going to lead us back to the green flag, but Seth Rawls currently listed as the race leader. It's a little weird, but nonetheless, we're back under green. Pacumer leads us into turn number 1. Neil Rutt going to be side by side with the 32 of Dustin Dewar. Seth Rawls picks up a black flag as it indicates he has passed the pace car, and he is scored as half a lap ahead of the field right now. So something's a little sketchy right now here. Seth, you're great, but you're definitely not the leader, bud. I think it's how pit road plays out here. Tommy Ryan was also scored the race leader. Whoa, that's a big stack up there, wrecking. Jeff Ryan, Gerald Campbell, Jesse Racimus also involved. Andrew Hardcastle, Tyler Dixon. We'll take a look at the replay machine, see what happened. It's just a stack up right there behind Jeff Green. Oh, it's Josh Osborne that actually goes around further up, collects Gerald Campbell, Michael Hosick, Jesse Racimus, Jeff Ryan, Tom Bourne, Leighton Norgard, Andrew Hardcastle. So, Dave, these guys pit, and they all just got caught in this wreck right here.
Put themselves back in harm's way.
That's just so unfortunate. I think we were about to have another wreck further back, but Josh Osborne had already spun out, causing a pretty big wreck, and all of a sudden, it's just chaos out there. Race control working on getting Seth Rawls back in the correct position. Currently scored as the race leader, so I guess congrats to Seth on leading some laps tonight. I think he's somehow earned himself a bonus point, which we'll have to take a peek at. A little interesting. Let's see. Why don't we go ahead and let's talk to the race leader, Caleb Pacumer.
I'll just have to text Chad and let him know.
Hey, Caleb, is Robert up in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
You've pretty much dominated this race, and of course, that's all pure skill, right?
Oh, it's just pure raw talent out here, brother.
What are your thoughts on the truck so far? Obviously, the racing not necessarily going the way everyone was hoping for, but nonetheless, you're still up front leading this thing past the halfway point.
Yeah, it would definitely be, I guess the truck seems to be really loose for a lot of guys, but it's definitely a lot of fun out here. I think it would be more fun if there could be a little bit more racing going on, but we're going to try to hold on to her here. We got a lot of good guys behind us, so I mean, anything could happen. You know, I can't put anything past these guys behind me.
Definitely not, and we're just under 70 laps to go. What's the fuel situation looking like?
Right now we are totally good to the green, to the checkered.
There we go. That's what we needed to know. You're 1 to green. Any shout outs or sponsors you want to thank here?
Oh yeah, man, of course. Huge shout out to all the Lake Norman guys. You know, I got Fody in here giving me some tips, and big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to Bite Size Sports, and let's see if we can bring this thing home.
All right, Caleb, best of luck. Hopefully we get to talk to you a little bit later.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Caleb Pacumer, your race leader, says he's good to go on fuel, which was a big question mark we had. We'll see if the tires can survive that as well. As Matthew mentioned, the heat-cold cycles on these things definitely not playing into their favor right now. Caleb Pacumer back on the loud pedal, leads us back to green. Neil Rutt going to be side by side with Dusty Dewar just behind him. Rutt slides up, Dusty comes down. Bit of contact for second. Dylan Haver and Frank Fody now put 2 Lake Norman trucks behind Pacumer in the top 5, but David Carpenter says no. He goes side by side with Frank Fody as they battle for the 5th position. Austin and Abnett right there. Josh Adams, Cody McCorkle, and Joe Francis up inside the top 10 as well. It is looking pretty solid for Lake Norman right now.
Oh, I think someone just hit the tires head on.
Oh.
I don't know if he saved or not. I think it was Richie Hearn. Woo!
Richie Hearn definitely hit hard, but his truck looking okay, so he's going to continue on at the tail of the field. Shout out to Dave Huckleberry trying to find it for us here. Yeah, there it is. Right. Oh, man.
I thought he was going to hit those
Oh,
tires.
he missed him. He missed
He
him.
didn't hit. Wow.
Holy cow. What a save.
That's those real-life skills coming into play here. Of course, Richie Hearn, a IndyCar winner in the real world. Shout out IndyCar1909.com as well.
Oh,
IndyCar
there's
president,
Carpenter.
Future. And our president is another caution as Dave Carpenter goes around from the top 5. Unfortunate for Carp here, as is this going to be Carp spinning by himself, or is it going to be contact from behind? It's Dave Carpenter, the 71, going for a solo spin, so he'll pick up a tally here. Just hits the inside wall. Little kiss there. Nothing too bad. So he's able to continue on in this one, unless that's his second tally. I think it's only his first.
Yep, it's his first.
There we go. So that's okay. So some surprising runs here so far. We're going to give you an update on some of the biggest movers of the day once again. Cody McCorkle, your biggest. He's up 21 spots, currently sitting in 9th. He started back in 30th, so great run for him. He's aligned with the Shift Esports team here in this series. Joe Francis up 18 spots to the 8th position. Kyle Hanshaw and Sam Boutwell both up 17 spots on the day. Jess Story up 14, as well as Dusty Dewar and the Jesse Racimus machine up 13 spots. And of course, I just mentioned Joe Francis being... Oh, okay. So this is where it gets weird here, guys. Joe Francis, Jess Story have both just gone down pit lane and somehow inherited the race lead in that process. I think it's just because they're able to work around the racetrack quicker than the cars actually out there. It's just a really weird trigger, but now...
Yeah, it would make sense. It would be much shorter, so they would be way around the track.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just... Maybe we've learned that trucks don't go to Oswego.
Yeah.
I think we've definitely learned that here tonight as Richie Hearn currently stopped on the apron waiting to come back out onto the racetrack because the pit exit was closed for these guys. Jess Story going to work his way out there as well. Joe Francis, they're going to rejoin the field. For Caleb Pecumer, if he's just able to keep his truck in one piece, I think he's got a great shot of obviously locking this one up because nobody's had the opportunity to get by him. And this would be, if he does have the opportunity to do it, would be his first victory outside of the Rev Limit Workshop Development Series presented by Pit Pass Network. We'll see how it plays out. The long way to go. Potentially a green flag run in there, maybe, please.
Another good jump by Cucumber.
And
Dusty
we're
just
back
needs to
underway.
get clear by Neil right here. I think if he gets clear, he might have a shot at him.
Did you actually call him Cucumber?
No, I said Cucumber. Cucumber. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Hey, man, I'm bad with names. I tried to tell Chad this.
Do you say Cucumber?
Yeah.
I think that's
I can
worse.
barely. Yeah, I
It's
can
worse.
barely see the overlay right here with the. It's kind of blurry on my end because I got to minimize. I got one screen, so I'm kind of like doing everything off one screen.
That's Pecumer.
You can't. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mess it up.
We'll
I'm just
go
gonna call him
Caleb.
Caleb. Hey, yeah.
Caleb.
He's leading the race. That one truck.
That guy.
That guy right there. You know.
Neil Rutt and Dusty to
Oh,
our
no.
Oh, God damn.
Whoa. Dusty got a little loose on the exit there. Just.
Oh, here comes Josh Adams.
Oh.
We're wrecking in the back. Connor Thompson. We're still green. There's a first for everything here, folks. As Thompson went around, he nearly gathers up those tires as well. This is exactly... How did nobody else get in this? He gets sideways. Oh man. Wow.
I think Gerald
great
hit him a
job.
little bit.
Great job by the field to keep us green. Neil Rutt has, of course, cleared Dustin Dewar for second. Josh Adams back to third. Adams has had one heck of a recovery drive here as well. He's going to dive to the inside, and Neil Rutt not quite able to get there that time. I think if Adams didn't have a tally, he may have tried to make that stick a little bit more, but nonetheless, he's going to go side by side with Rutt once again through turns number 1 and 2. Dusty Dewar, Dylan Haver, the rest of your top 5. Cody McCorkle, Tommy Ryan back up to 7th. Gavin Higgins in 8th. Austin and Nabnett 9th. And Kyle Hanshaw up in the top 10 as we're going to go 3 wide briefly. Gavin Higgins, Tommy Ryan, Cody McCorkle up here. We're going to go side by side as well for 2nd. That's between Josh Adams and Neil Rutt. Rutt on the outside, Adams on the inside, and the caution flags waving. Tom Bourne, Tyler Dixon going to be involved in this one. Let's take a look at the Revilis Photography replay machine and see what happened between Bourne and Dixon. Watching the 61 of Tom Bourne behind the 41 of Frank Fody. Bourne's going to lose it here by himself. Seth Rawls up into a Leighton Norgard to get by. And Tyler Dixon again. Well, not as good as last time, Dave.
No, if he did not, there was no papers between the bumpers on that one.
No. I think he's owed an entire tree right there. That was not as good in the Hokie Haven Motorsports 79 for Tyler Dixon.
I think he was guessing that he was going to slide up since he was sideways.
I think so too. Oh man, Zach Evans pointing out something in the YouTube chat that I do remember this as well. He's thinking back to when Matt Gruenberg led 213 laps at Martinsville, or going 213 laps on fuel at Martinsville, just to jump the final restart and lose the race. That sucks.
I remember that, yep. As we got a new leader, I guess he wasn't. I guess he couldn't make it to the end on fuel.
Maybe he was
unless Fody in his ear. Unless Fody's in his ears like, hey, tires are coming into play right now, because I don't know if some of these guys have fresher tires or not that are driving up to the field, so.
Yeah, he definitely took tire. So Caleb now going to have to come from 18th on the grid here. I love the commentary going on in the YouTube chat as well. It's always a good time to see what guys like Zach Evans, Tyrone McIntosh have to say as we're taking a run through the field here. A couple guys having some really solid runs that Dave just showed right there. Jess Story, David Carpenter, Andrew Hardcastle, Richie Hearn, probably one of his, I mean, I would say one of his best runs in a stock car in Elite, but he hasn't really been able to run the truck as of yet. In this race, it's more like participation. As we're going to get set to go green, Josh Adams, Dustin Dewar on the front row. We're back on our way. Gavin Higgins back up to 2nd now. What in the world? This guy's on the move tonight. Doing a great job. He's going to give the bumper to Joe.
He got too much bumper.
Tally to the 20.
Yeah, definitely.
That's an obvious. That was dumb, actually. I'm just going to say it. That was dumb. As the caution going to come out again. Higgins is going to get into the back of Adams, get into the back of him again, turn him sideways, get into the back of him again, turn him. It's tally going to be issued to the 20 on that one. That's for sure.
But you still got the spot.
Yeah. He does have the spot, Dave.
That's one of those holes in the tally system, right? So.
Yeah, well, he's got the spot, but he also has a rear bumper for now. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see a little bit later on. We'll look at the checklist. Does he have the spot? Does he have the rear bumper? I'm going to say one of those is not going to be in play at the end.
Yeah. One thing I know, Adams is not going to be pleased with that at all. He's one of those guys. He doesn't forget, and he's one of those guys that wants to be race respectful because he races you he races everyone clean and respectful. So I'm sure he wants to be raced the same exact way, and that's just not how you do it.
Absolutely, absolutely not. Let's see who else we can have a word with here as we're under this caution period. I'm gonna talk to my old buddy Cody McCorkle. Hey Cody, it's Robert up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you loud clear.
You're up to the 3rd spot here. What do you need to do to get up here and pass this Gavin Higgins and Dustin Doer machines?
Well, I think Gavin's got a little bit newer tires, so it's gonna be tough with him. But I think just try to keep it clean. Hopefully nothing happens. Just watch my teammate get taken out. Unfortunately, I don't want the same thing to happen. But if we can keep it clean, I think we have something to fight with.
How you looking on fuel there?
It should be pretty good.
All right, I was just wondering because I know you haven't pitted yet. I don't think so.
Well, Cody, as we get set to go back underway here in the next couple of moments, why don't you go ahead and give some shout outs, thank your sponsors, your teammates. Who gets it done for the 2?
Big shout out to Design Ping for being on the truck. Huge shout out to Shift Esports and all the teammates making this happen. Thanks to you guys too.
All right, Cody, best of luck.
Thank you.
I've known that kid for a long time. We got started on iRacing together over a dozen years ago. We went to the Daytona 500 together a few years ago. Such a cool kid. So best of luck to Cody. Hopefully he can get up there and get this one done here tonight. But let's get back underway. Hopefully run more than 2 laps as Dustin Doer back on the green, back on the loud pedal. That hasn't been used too much tonight as Cody snaps right on the inside of Gavin Higgins. Almost an instant announcer's jinx right there as he's going to be... we're under caution again. Yay. And I think that one involves Tyler Dixon and maybe...
He's already back in?
Stevens. Yeah, Tyler was like, nah, I'm gone. See ya. It's just going to snap on Dixon. He's going to collect JP. No, he doesn't. Wow. Doesn't collect JP Phillips. I think Josh Adams might get a little piece. Tom Bourne gets the whole piece right there. And Jaden sneaks by on the bottom, but under caution again for the 75th time here tonight at Oswego. We'll ride on board with Tom Bourne and the aggressive Eagle 61. Teammates to Gerald Campbell.
Ooh.
Oh, man, he couldn't see anything right there.
Which is weird because when he self-spun, Dixon hit him, and then Dixon self-spun as he hits Dixon. So I guess they traded.
A little bit of payback right there, isn't it? Not actually payback, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Karma payback.
At this point, we're gonna have an underdog victory here tonight, and it's not even gonna necessarily be off of the pace that they've had because they've just unfortunately not been able to stretch their legs whatsoever and get going. But and all y'all in the YouTube chat, let us know who's gonna win this thing. Because at this point, nobody knows. It could be absolutely anybody up here. We've probably had as many lead changes in this one as we've had at a couple of the super speedway races. It just seems to change a bunch. We've had guys lead that just came down pit road and got lucky. It's just interesting. Oh, Dustin Doer having a pedal issue. That's not what you want to hear from the race leader.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Especially in a short track.
No, because one mistake leads to a lot of chaos, and we've had too much of that as it is.
The only thing now, Gavin used up his one tally that you're allowed to use, so he can't bump someone out of the way no more. So he has to be smart about this move.
That's true. Shout out to a couple more. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's one thing about the tally system. You get one, but you can't get any more.
Great point there. Shout out to a couple more viewers here tonight. Gavin Hibbs hanging out with us. Zach Evans has mentioned, Tyrone McIntosh, Scott Crump, one of your best friends there, Matthew. Damn Good Butter, that's Ethan Stanley. And of course, Dakota Pignataro also tuned in, cheering on Neil Rutt here tonight. Neil was doing a great job, now back in the 23rd position. We'll see if he's able to work his way back up there and get himself a good finish as we come back to the green flag. Dusty Doer on the loud pedal. The pedal worked here this time, so hopefully no more issues for him. Cody McCorkle struggling on the bottom there, has another snap, but he's going to get up to the left rear of Gavin Higgins as they work their way into turns number 3 and 4. Now Kyle Hanshaw to the outside of McCorkle. Seth Rawls going to be side by side with Gerald Campbell. Here comes a Leighton Norgard, a driver that's had a good recovery as well, on the inside of Michael Hosick. Hosick is the winner of the Rev Limit Workshop Development Series presented by Pit Pass Network race at the Oswego Asphalt Oval earlier this season, so he knows how to get it done here. We'll see what he can do from position number 8.
What I'm starting to notice is the guys that take tires are the ones that are able to pass right now. Everyone that hasn't pitted yet, they're kind of struggling.
Yeah, you're seeing that a little bit. Some of these guys just not having the grip that some of these other guys have. And I tend to agree with what Scott Crump just said, where Gavin Higgins probably has the best truck right now. And if he's able to get the lead,
come on, let him save it.
No,
Oh,
Francis.
Oh.
The numbers by Joe, around he goes. 55 truck. We're under caution once again. Let's take a look at the replay machine. Mark is getting his money's worth tonight here, boys.
It all started in front of him,
Cody.
and it was a checkup. Joe was trying to check up for the wreck and thinking they were actually wrecking, and he just, I guess the guys behind him were so close they wasn't ready for the big checkup that Joe was doing there.
So Cody McCorkle going to be the one to get sideways right there in the 2 truck. Does he have some help from a Leighton Norgard?
He does.
Yes, he definitely does.
I think he hit the brakes really hard early. What it looked like he just stopped right there.
Cody's been struggling a little bit there on the bottom. His truck has been quite unsettled. Shout out to Jessica Hanshaw tuned in as well. I think she's cheering for Kyle here tonight, most likely. Oh, yeah. Cody's okay, though.
What a save right there.
A little bit of rear end damage. That's nothing. He's fine. Man, that's a wild one. And then, of course, Joe Francis here gets around as well. We'll ride on board with the numbers by Joe 55. Another aggressive Eagle car. He's going to get the inside wall. I don't think he's got too much damage from that. I think he'll be okay. Be able to tack back on and continue this one out. So, not too bad for Joe Francis. He will take it to pit road, though.
He got kind of pushed into that by 59 a little bit. As they were stacking
Caleb
up.
McHumer got involved in that one. Unfortunate for him, as Caleb had a great race leading up to this point. He's back up to 14th, though. So the 59 is going to pick up a tally, actually. Dave, why don't we get a quick word from our friends at Worldwide Technology Raceway?
All right.
Since 2010, race fans have had one burning question. When will the Xfinity Series return to Worldwide Technology Raceway? You asked, NASCAR delivered. On Saturday, September 6, 2025, the magic is back. The track that launched the legendary careers of Harvick, Busch, Keselowski, Edwards, and Earnhardt Jr. is now ready to write that next chapter. We're going to introduce you to a new crop of future champions and Hall of Famers. And in the process, we'll create more of the greatest moments in racing history. NASCAR Weekend 2025, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs, the Confluence Music Festival, and now 250 miles of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 2 incredible races, 1 challenging track, a 3-day party of epic proportions. Go to www.raceway.com and lock in your weekend racing and camping packages for as little as $20 down.
And we're back underway here at IndyCar1909.com 150. Dustin Dewar leads the way over Gavin Higgins, Kyle Hanshaw, Gerald Campbell, and the Canadian Michael Hosick, who currently holds on to that 5th position. These guys in the top 5 have all single filed out. First side-by-side action is back around the Seth Rawls machine, where he's on the inside of a Leighton Norgard. Rawls has shoved it in deep there. Norgard up on the high side. Jess Story bobbles. Rawls looks to the middle. Now backs it up back to the bottom. David Carpenter right there with Andrew Hardcastle rounding out the top 10. Cody McCorkle, we saw him sideways not long ago. Now he sits in that 11th position with Jeff Green to his inside. Oh, things getting sketchy here. Hardcastle around, Green around. Caution is waving once again.
Oh.
Caution number 18 here on the evening. David Carpenter goes to the inside of Rawls, backs up. Hardcastle checks up. Green into the back of him. Pecumer into the back of Green. That's going to send both the 22 and the 38 around and put us under caution once again. So unfortunately, we have lost a couple of cars in this one as well. Mitchell Haver out. Michael Goodman out. Josh Osborne is out. Tom Bourne also out, and Tyler Dixon is the latest retiree. Each of those 17 or more laps down. 28 cars still on the lead lap. Not much time for anyone to really go a lap down here, so the only ones that are a lap down are the ones that have had some mechanical issues.
That was just a big checkup there. Just everyone, I've seen Seth getting to somebody, and then everyone's just close racing, way closer than that last caution there, you know, so kind of hard to rule. I don't know what to do there.
Yeah, that's kind of a domino effect, or as a former admin would say, a concertina effect right there, leading to that caution flag. So probably a racing deal is a good one there for these guys. Just kind of taking a look through, Josh Adams has gotten his way back up to 16th after his earlier issue with Gavin Higgins. If he gets a couple more yellows, he may find himself up there battling it out with these guys once again. And if that happens, I would definitely expect the bumper to come into play there. A couple other guys just to keep an eye on coming up through the field now. Richie Hearn up to 11th. He's been pretty good all day. Caleb Pecumer led a bunch of laps early on, currently sitting 12th. We had Dylan Haver up in the top 5, Frank Fody, Austin and Abnett, 4 Lake Norman trucks in a row, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. They've all been pretty solid here today, and guys like Tommy Ryan, Neil Rutt, Josh Adams, all very, very solid trucks. So we'll see who can get back up there and battle it out with these guys for the win. But it's going to be Dusty Dewar and Gavin Higgins on the front row for the upcoming restart with just 22 laps to go at the time of the green flag here. Dewar on the bottom, Higgins on the high side. Dewar finds the loud pedal. We're back underway, racing once again here at Oswego. Dewar side by side with Higgins. Higgins at the right rear quarter panel of the 32.
Oh, we got him.
No, just save it. Oh, okay. At least he saved it. That's all right. Oh, Gerald got loose into the wall.
I think Gerald might have had a mechanical issue right there because his wheel absolutely twitched, sent him up into the wall. He's going to lose a bunch of spots. Higgins, now your leader, ahead of Hanshaw, ahead of Dewar, Hossack, and Norgard now the top 5. Jess Story trying to work his way into that 5th spot now. He's trying to write another chapter in his Elite Racing League career with a victory in the JUICYSPYDER Studios Truck Series. Good run here for Story in the late going, as we're now just 20 laps to go, and we're under caution again. This one involves Jaden Racimus. He's found a peculiar area of this racetrack.
I think this is going to be one of those I was talking about earlier. We had a few of these in the ARCA race.
Man, he just loses it right there from the high side.
Then you go to the opening.
Yeah, he misses the walls completely, but ends up in a weird spot where he has to reverse onto the racetrack to get out of there because there's no other option.
Headed to victory lane a little early.
So here at Oswego, I believe that's the stage for driver introductions that he just visited a couple hours late. But interesting nonetheless there for Mr. Jaden Racimus.
Tell you one thing, the rest of the field did not want to see that 20 truck up there because he looked like he's been the best truck all night. How he went through traffic, came back from that penalty. He's just been able to pass unlike other trucks.
Yeah, he's looking really, really solid here all night long. Of course, had a couple issues and whatnot throughout the event, but nonetheless has been the truck to beat here tonight. As we're going to take a look at a replay. I believe this is of Dustin Dewar. Is that correct, Dave?
Yeah, this was the pass for the lead, I believe.
Yeah, you're going to see the pass for the lead here momentarily just after they've gone green. Dusty Dewar just loses it to the inside of Gavin Higgins. Goes for a slider, able to gather it back up. Slots back into the third position. So definitely not out of it yet. So don't count out that 32. As the trucks go to warp speed, here goes the 32.
Good save, though.
Definitely a good save. And I think Gerald reacts thinking that a wreck's going to happen and actually puts himself in the outside wall. He's going to lose more than Dusty does in this sequence. Dusty only loses 2 spots. Gerald falls back about 3 or 4 to the 8th position as we turn over to 1 to green. We're going to go green this upcoming time. But yeah, there's Campbell. He sees the trucks. No, something happened with that 00 because that's really weird situation.
I think he's seen that wreck happen and thinking they're going to hit the wall, bounce up, and he kind of overdrove the corner a little bit to avoid that, thinking it was going to happen, and he just got loose. That's what it looks like to me.
While we're coming back to the green flag, Gavin Higgins finds the loud pedal. We're back underway.
Stay low, Gavin.
Higgins.
Don't do it again. All right.
Yeah, exactly. It was close right there. Dustin Dewar on the inside of Kyle Hanshaw for second. Dewar now clears to the second position. He knows he's got a shot at this one. So Dusty getting himself back in a good spot in that second position. Now Cody McCorkle falls back. Oh, we're wrecking again. Jess Story
Jess!
into the outside wall. Caution number 20. This time for the 92 of Jess Story. Seth Rawls forces it 3 wide here, and it just doesn't end well.
Yeah, but he got really loose.
He opened the hole.
There's a gap right there, but it looked like Jesse was trying to close that gap, but he wasn't fast enough to close it.
JP Phillips collected in it late there. Yeah. I think Jess definitely opens the door a little bit with that bobble. Seth sees the hole, goes for it, and then unfortunately for that 92 of Jess Story, he's going to be the one to end up hard in the outside wall. Unfortunate there for him, and unfortunate for JP Phillips getting involved in that one as well. Let's talk to Dustin Dewar here, Dave. Why don't we go ahead and pull him up? We'll have a quick chat with our second place truck. Hey, Dusty, it's Robert up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hello, boys. How's it going out there?
Man, you're always full of energy, and I freaking love it. But you were out there in the race lead. Looked like you lost it a little bit down the back straight away.
That was a hell of a save, though.
Yes, it was. Absolutely. You gathered it back up to third. Now you're in second. What do you need to do to get by that 20 of Higgins?
Well, I'm on my original tires. I think I'm probably the only one in the field that's on their originals. I know Higgins, he probably took tires around 75. I don't know, but yeah, I'm you know, if got to do what you got to do. I want to get a win out here. I'll race him clean, but he gives me a lane. I'm going to take it.
I can confirm, Dusty, that you are the only truck that has not yet visited pit lane, and that's all right because there's been some issues on pit lane for these guys tonight. But nonetheless, how do you feel the truck is running right now, especially considering you're on those old tires?
I want tires, I can tell you that, but we're doing all right, you know, as long as I stay in the mindset, stay in the rhythm, and just roll the corner. Don't do anything dumb. I'll be all right, and I'll get out of here with a good finish, hopefully a W, and talk to you guys at the end of this thing.
Well, before we get you back down there, shout out sponsors. Who you got?
Heck yeah, JD's Hilltop, Salvage, Miss Goodies, Memory Lanes, Rowdy, Randy. Heck yeah, let's go, boys. Let's go racing.
And don't forget,
right,
Dusty, you got a tally to play with, unlike the 20.
Yeah, 10-4, I know that.
All right, good luck, Dusty.
Woo, he's gone.
As we're back underway, Gavin Higgins leads us far into turn number 1. Dustin Dewar side by side with Kyle Hanshaw through turns number 1 and 2. This one's still far from over. Don't you worry about that. As Dusty goes up to the high side, bobbles a little bit. Hasek gonna stick his nose in on the bottom, tries to catch up to the rear end of the new second place truck, Kyle Hanshaw, as everybody chasing down Gavin Higgins with just 8 laps to go. If we get another caution, we'll definitely be approaching the overtime section of the evening. We hope we don't get there. We probably will, though, as Dewar and Hasek battle it out for third and
there goes.
fourth.
Oh,
Hasek gathers it up. Good job by Michael Hasek down there on the bottom.
Oh, Richie Hearn, no!
Out. Damn. That was looking like we were going to get on a run, man. Let's blame Chad for that one. As Richie Hearn heads into turns 1 and 2, he just loses it right there.
Yeah.
73 truck almost into the side of Frank Footy. I don't think he actually hits him there. Neil Rutt just behind him definitely collects the 11 of Rutt, as that's eventually what sends the 73 fully around here. And Jesse Racimus does a nice job dodging that. Andrew Hardcastle into the back of him. Hard hit for Hardcastle. Joe Francis involved. Richie Hearn getting his second tally of the day as well. He has already reported to pit lane and is done for the night. So we're going to head to overtime, I do believe, here, as we're getting down to the late stages of this one. 5 laps to go right now on the 21st caution of the day. Dave, you think Gavin Higgins has this one locked up, or is that bumper going to come into play by somebody?
If he gets a big jump like he has, that's hard to catch that in just 2 laps. So he's been really taking off with those leads on the green flag restarts.
I want you, Dave, because you're still pretty new to this, right? I want you to put yourself in the driver's seat of that 32 of Dustin Dewar. He's going to line up on the inside behind the 20 of Gavin Higgins. What would you do on this restart?
If I knew that somebody was in the lead that had already used the bumper to get to the lead, I would have a problem using it. You got a tally. It's a loophole in the system, right? You have a tally to use it.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, Hanshaw, I don't think has a tally yet. Does Dewar have a tally yet, Matthew? I don't think either of them do.
Nope.
Well,
you play with the system that's in front of you. So,
but I don't say you don't go out and do that to everybody.
No,
everyone's listening. You already know Gavin wrecked Adams.
Right,
just to move him out of
That's
the way.
why I said if you know somebody that was already willing to do it himself, he's kind of got it coming in this race.
Exactly.
This is going to get interesting, as this will actually be a natural green-white checkered. So we will not dip into our allotted 3 as of yet. We probably will, but we hope not. As the pace car is off, we're getting set to go green, this time by Gavin Higgins, Kyle Hanshaw, Dustin Dewar, Michael Hasek, Leighton Norgard, the top 5 as we're back. Oh gosh, Kyle Hanshaw almost lost it on the restart. Honestly, I don't think Dusty got that bad of a start here. If he's able to get a good run down the back straightaway, potentially set himself... Never mind, Frank Fody spins, runner caution again.
Thought he had it saved. He didn't really spin either. Some of these cautions like that need to be fixed. Yeah, there's a certain degree of angle where the car is, and if a car is like behind them, like coming towards that, they'll throw the yellow.
So now with Dustin Dewar moving up to the 2nd spot, I'm going to say the next truck aside from Gavin Higgins that's in the best spot is the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw that's going to be starting on the inside of row number 2. If he can just watch that 20 launch exactly when he does, he's got that bumper to use as well and could put himself in a great spot here. I know he's got Johnny Thomas watching, his wife Jessica tuned in as well. So
I have a question as a learning driver here. In case, 10 years from now, I'm in this situation where I'm in the lead. You can't change lanes before the first line. So if you're on the inside, the only lane change he can do is going into the outside lane, right? The entire open to the left is okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
Because
I'm
watch
trying to
this. He
understand.
just dives.
Yeah,
So I mean, he changes an
understand why
entire
he's
truck
diving.
lane, which shortens the
and then he's
corner.
just. Yep,
Yeah, that's kind of a lane change.
it is.
You're supposed to maintain your lane that you're in until the time you pass the start finish line. So yeah, I would agree that that's a lane change.
Yep.
Because that gives him a tremendous advantage over Hanshaw because of how much shorter it is.
The 32 moves down because the 46 bobbles, but the 20 is well clear of that. So yeah, that's a lane change on the 20 of Gavin Higgins. The penalty has just been issued. The 20 of Gavin Higgins with another lane change. He's going to drop to the rear. Dustin Dewar has taken the race lead here. Kyle Hanshaw going to be starting to his outside. Wow. Dave, this changes everything. So Gavin Higgins going to fall to the rear. That means it's Dustin Dewar and Kyle Hanshaw on the front row as we get set to go green this time. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1. Dewar on the bottom. He's on the loud pedal. We're back underway. Dustin Dewar with a good launch. He'll lead us towards turn number 1 for the first time on this restart. Kyle Hanshaw to second. Leighton Norgard to third. There's Michael Hossack on the high side with Gerald Campbell taking a peek to the inside of him. Hanshaw to the outside and Dewar side by side for the lead. Coming to the white flag this time.
Are we going to get there?
In the air. 1 lap to go for Dustin Dewar. We'll see who's got it this time. Hanshaw side by side with Norgard. Dewar, the only driver on those OG tires here tonight, going to lead us into turn number 3 for the final time as they work their way through 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4. He's done good tonight, boys. Checkered flag. It's Dusty Dewar. Dewar takes the win, goes for a spin. Norgard second. Hanshaw going to round out the podium. Gerald Campbell, Michael Hossack, the rest of your top 5 was Seth Rawls, Tommy Ryan, David Carpenter, Caleb Pecumer, and Cody McCorkle. The top 10. Dustin Dewar gets it done. Victory for Dewar. What a drive for Dewar. That is his second career Elite Racing League victory in start number 768. Well, and I just lied. That is, let's get the accurate number on that one. That is his second victory, Dave, in his 529th career start. First win since May 6, 2024 in the Xfinity car at the Talladega Super Speedway. He's going to burn it down for JD's Hilltop Salvage and Randy Big Balls Walters at Memory Lanes Bowling Center. What a drive for Dusty. Chat's going absolutely wild for him right now. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll talk to your podium finishers of Dewar, Norgard, and Hanshaw here in the IndyCar1909.com 150 on ERN. Don't go anywhere. We're back here in the IndyCar1909.com 150. We're going to go ahead and have a word here with our race winner, Dusty Dewar. Dusty, you did it, buddy.
Woohoo! Wow! Can you believe that? Let's go, boys. Let's frickin' go.
Man, it looked like Gavin Higgins had it locked up, but unfortunately for him, a late race penalty going to put him back deep in the field. But for you, led 29 laps tonight and got your second career victory here in the Elite Racing League. How good does that one feel, buddy?
Boy, this one feels better than the rest. You know, it's not a plate track. It's, you know, it's you got to put yourself in the right positions here. You got to race. You got to pass cars. You know, I started not deep in the field, but right around, I don't know, 15th, something like that. And you know, even early on in the race, marched my way through the field. Every green flag lap we got, I took advantage of it, passed a couple cars, and got myself in the situation I needed to be in to make those decisions late in the race.
It's pretty wild that you're able to get that one done. Obviously, a lot more cautions than we hoped for, but nonetheless, put yourself in the position you needed to, and you needed this one tonight. It's been a rough start to the season. I don't think you can doubt that whatsoever. 23rd at Daytona, 47th at Las Vegas, last race out. But to get the win here tonight, what does that do for the momentum for the rest of your 2025 A season? And that means you're in the playoffs, Dusty.
Oh, isn't that a beautiful thing, boy? The hard part's over. Now it's just focusing on and doing the right things. But truly, this win here tonight, it's dang, it means a lot. Takes a big take some weight off the shoulders. It's just, I think I told Goody and my dad at JD's Hilltop Salvage just last week. We went out together, played some bingo, and told him, like, you know, I'm taking this season a little bit more seriously. Like, the winter season's my season. I've been practicing. I've been putting in work. All the leagues, it's showing up in some places, not every place, but I'm here. I'm here to contend for championships this season, and damn, it feels good.
I can only imagine it does feel good. And I'm going to actually pass it over to your teammate, Dave Huckleberry, who's up here in the booth as well. Dave, you got any questions for our race winner here tonight, Dustin Dewar?
Oh, man, you put me to a question. Dusty, you've been a tremendous resource to me all through my young career. I just would wonder, I don't really know how to even express the question. Is like, how do you deal with being such a veteran in the league, but then having to deal with guys like me and having to deal with these young guys in the trucks, and that balance between the two of dealing with inexperienced drivers, but also being a very experienced driver yourself?
Yeah, you know, I'm an experienced driver yet. I still do a lot of dumb things every now and then, but I love helping out you guys. I love helping out guys that need help. It helps keep me in check by working with you guys. And again, it drives me to put into work, to practice, to be able to help you guys out come race day. I say that's the main thing. And again, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be out here every night. This is truly like a family event out here on race nights.
Well, Dusty, before we let you go here, any sponsors you want to thank, shout outs you want to give for putting that car on the racetrack?
Heck yeah, man. I'm sorry I didn't get a good shout out before. You guys caught me off guard there. So yeah, here we go. JD's Hilltop Salvage in Goodrich, Wisconsin. Man, if y'all need some salvage picked up, give JD a shout out today. Miss Goodies, home of the famous hooded towels, y'all. If you haven't got a hooded towel, you need to get one today. The grandkids are gonna love them. The kids are gonna love them. Hell, you're going to love the hooded towels. You can find her on Facebook at Miss Goodies. Randy Big Balls Walters. He's going to have a cold one on me tonight. I guarantee you that. I'm going to do a victory shot here in a little bit, boys. Thank you for everything you guys do up in the booth. You know, are the people that tune in every week would have nothing to tune in for if it wasn't for you. Love you guys. Love this team. Do Good Motorsports, man. It's going to be a hell of a season. Let's go have some frickin' fun.
Well, Dusty, congrats on the victory here tonight. We can't wait to see if you can do it again this season. Good job here tonight, bud.
Thank you, boys.
That's Dustin Dewar, your winner in the number 32 for Do Good Motorsports. Let's go ahead and bring in our third place driver, Kyle Hanshaw, that's going to be standing by with Matthew Weeks for his podium finish interview here tonight. Actually, I think Matthew stepped away, so I'll go ahead and talk to Kyle here. Kyle, walk us through that one here tonight. You got yourself a third place finish. How good does that feel?
Hey, Robert. No, it's awesome, man. I was trying to get a win tonight for my buddy Johnny. Just had a little baby girl, so congratulations to him and his wife, little baby Olivia. So really wanted that one tonight, but tires started to go away there a little bit towards the end. Was sliding around a little bit more, and just couldn't get that extra couple feet to catch a good lucky caution there to get the lead. But all in all, it was a great race. I love this racetrack. It's got a lot of character. You got to be real careful with your moves and judgment on your braking and everything. So it was pretty good. I'm happy with the top three.
Yeah, definitely something to be happy about. And is there anything you think you could have done maybe a little bit differently to get up there and battle it out a bit further with Dustin Dewar coming to the line? Or are you just content with that third place finish?
Nah, I definitely thought I had something for Dusty at the end there. But what really screwed me was the Gavin getting penalized there, and me having to go to the top lane. Definitely, I noticed Dusty was kind of overdriving on corner entry on restarts, and I was able to maybe sneak my nose in there and get side by side with him and battle it out. But yeah, that really screwed me there at the end when I had to go to the outside, and there was just not a lot of grip up there, and inside lane had a more of an advantage. But I mean, it is what it is. Just happy with the top three. Good points night for us. So hopefully we'll continue this momentum going forward.
And speaking of points, that does put you up to fourth in points, just 5 points out of the lead, which is currently a tie between Josh Adams and Gerald Campbell. How are you feeling heading into Watkins Glen for the next race of the series? Do you think maybe you have another top five in you there?
Yeah, if I put somebody else in the race car. But yeah, not too lucky on road courses, but we'll do our best, try to get as many points as we can there, and get back to the ovals as soon as possible. But pretty close on points here in the Truck Series, so we're gonna be going for that this year in this go around league. Everybody else in the Cup and Xfinity pretty much out of those points. So we're going to focus on trucks the rest of the season and see how it plays out.
Well, before we let you go here, Kyle, any sponsors you want to thank, shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys do a hell of a job. Really enjoy going back and watching everything. Shout out to Harpoon Designs, Brantley, for making our sweet paint schemes for KHR year in and year out. Really appreciate him. Shout out to everybody in Elite. And shout out to my buddy Johnny, again, my teammate. Hopefully they're getting some rest and enjoying that new baby.
Well, congrats on a great run here tonight, Kyle, and we look forward to seeing you next time out at Watkins Glen.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
That was your third place finisher, Kyle Hanshaw. Now we're going to go ahead and have a word with our runner-up tonight, Leighton Norgard. Leighton, walk us through your chaotic evening out there in that 12 machine.
Well, I didn't get quite this qualifying position that I wanted to out of this, but still started pretty decently, I think in ninth. And just had a lot of fun with all the restarts for a while, kind of bounced up and down. Then I pit about 80 laps in and exited a closed pit, so I ended up with an EOL, and then started at the back of the field there, and then 30 laps later I was up in P6. So just the movement through the field tonight was pretty crazy. The lack of a restart zone, as we're kind of dealing with here, is made things kind of weird on some of these restarts, especially with Gavin as the leader. He liked going really early, which definitely had some consequences there. kind of waiting to hear what the final decision with all of that stuff is going to be. But pretty happy with where I ended up overall. With restarts being a weak point for me, being able to hold on to come up in second, I'm pretty happy with, obviously. But yeah, another lap or so, I think I could have gotten Dusty, but he had a hell of a strategy call with taking no tires, staying out all race. But congrats to him on making that work.
Yeah, you guys definitely had an eventful night out there, but still able to come home with a second place finish, which is by far your best finish of this Truck Series season, as you've unfortunately been caught up in a little bit of chaos in the previous 2 rounds. But looking ahead, a bit of momentum now on your side as we head to Watkins Glen, a track where you're not too shabby at there. What's your outlook for that one?
I'm not too excited about it, but I do okay there. I'm all right on road, maybe a little bit above average. So hopefully I can make something work there. People get more spaced out generally, so a little less chaos compared to this week. So that'll be a nice change. Hopefully no yellows, but you never know what might happen. I don't think we have Will running, so should be able to avoid a yellow from that at least. But yeah, I'll be looking for at least a top 10 next week.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Leighton, but you have 4 previous starts at Watkins Glen in the Elite Racing League, and you have not finished outside the top 10 in any of those races.
I did not know that. And is that just Truck Series or across all of them?
You have never started an Elite truck race at Watkins Glen. Those are Cup, Xfinity, and the ARCA car.
Well, the Cup and Xfinity results there are pretty surprising to me then. Especially in Cup, my top 10s have been kind of few and far between. And with some of the drivers that we have in the Cup Series, and they run in Xfinity too, obviously. Yeah, kind of surprised by that, but I'll take it. Maybe I'll have to readjust my my aims to a top 5 here.
Absolutely got to take it. But Leighton, before we let you go here tonight after your second place run, any sponsors you want to thank, shout outs you want to give?
Just all the guys at Abbott. Had Andrew running tonight as the only teammate, but we also got yourself, Cale Pocock, Corey Abbott, William White, Brent Jones. I know I'm forgetting people. Dominic Wright, Thomas Coonan. Yeah, the list just keeps growing, but good group of guys. Always have fun running with them.
Well, Leighton, congrats on the second place run here tonight, and we'll see you next round at Watkins Glen.
Thanks, Robert.
That was a Leighton Norgard, and that's going to do it for your podium interviews here tonight. I think Mathieu might still be tied up with some race control duties. So, Dave, final thoughts from you after what was a crazy night here at Oswego.
I am glad to put Oswego behind us, and then we got a full week up ahead with 5 more races, I believe.
Dave is muted, so...
I'm here. I'm sorry. I am talking to Chad right now.
I was actually muted to you, Robert. I was not muted to the broadcast, so they heard me.
Oh. What were your thoughts, Dave? Were they good?
That I was glad that Oswego was behind us, and that we had 5 more races this week, and it's a full week of more chaos. I do feel bad that I asked about that issue. I asked from a standpoint of a learning driver, and I just had noticed it, and I really didn't know one way or the other. I do think, from hearing a lot of the arguments, that I think it was a tough situation because of the track, and that this is a track that doesn't have a restart. And I don't like the position that Mathieu was put in, and I really regret that I even asked, but I can't undo that.
Mathieu, final thoughts from you?
It was a good race. I feel bad. I feel like I messed up at the end now because for me, clearly that's a lane change. Clearly, because he went in the middle and he dropped straight to the wall. And everyone else holding their line. Then I see Dustin, and I got called Dusty and Lane doing it. So I had to send a video. So I feel bad for the guys the guy screwed out of the win. To me, I feel like I screwed him out of the win. But that's my opinion. I feel bad about it.
It is partially why I think race control is one of the most horrible jobs that we have in our league.
Absolutely. I absolutely couldn't agree with that more. It's tough because you're making split-second decisions, and no matter what, though, these guys had a chaotic night nonetheless, and it's going to be an evening they all want to forget, anyways, except for Dustin Dewar, of course, as he picked up his first Truck Series victory and his second career win in the Elite Racing League. But on behalf of Matthew Weeks and Dave Huckleberry, my name is Robert Hill Jr. You see the results on your screen there. We'll see you next time at Watkins Glen. Have a good night, everybody, and thanks for joining us once again here on the Elite Racing Network.